It's a pleasure to talk to you about this film. Everything is so exciting about it. So when you get the script, you know, you read it, and what comes through your mind?
Ha!
I think for me, the first thing that came through my mind was of the idea that, you know, in magazines, how they always do that thing where it's like, stars, they're just like us. Those little tidbits where they're washing their own laundry and stuff.
They're eating big burgers.
Exactly.
You know?
I felt that way about, like, heroes. They're just like us. You know, the way that we react and the way that we handle Jean Grey going through what she's going through. It seems so human and so real. And I like the idea of a hero being, you know, possibly a little crazy, a little nuts, going through a lot, you know, relatable.
No, absolutely. Do you guys have a better answer than that?
Well, you know, the thing that makes her crazy in the Dark Phoenix is also the thing that makes her the most powerful.
Yeah.
So she takes that uniqueness and turns it into strength, which is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's always been the message of the X-Men, and I think it's quite heightened in this one, where, you know, difference is great. Difference is something that is a potential, right?
Totally. Yeah, no, I mean, this movie is, this franchise is about a group of outcasts that, you know, have not been accepted by society, and have come together and to form their own family. And then, you know, in this movie, it explores what happens when one of those family members suddenly becomes super, super powerful and has this dark power, you know, this dark voice that she's hearing inside of her head. How does it affect the rest of the X-Men? How does it affect her? You know, how is it going to affect the rest of the world? So it's a big concept, but also has, you know, there's a lot of internal wrestling that Jean Grey is facing in the movie, and it's really, really fun to watch Sophie carry this film. She's amazing.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know, the emotion was all inside her head, but, you know, she did so well. Because there was a generation of those characters before you guys, how much are the films an inspiration, or is it always the comics?
I think it's both. I think you draw from the comics, but then also just the tone of the films and the effects and the excitement, and I don't know, everybody plays it very grounded and real. So you just want to try to do that.
Yeah.
I guess.
You want to do both. You want to use both. I mean, use as much as we possibly can in order to draw inspiration from. But I think that the comics are just a little bit easier because there's so much source material. I mean, yes, there's a good amount of X-Men movies, don't get me wrong, but you've got hundreds of Quicksilver comics, you know, that can really build or give you ideas for stuff.
Yeah, no, I think it's kind of a blessing and a curse to have that much source material.
Yeah, so much information.
It's a lot of information. There's a lot of different interpretations as well. So I think it's, you know, for me, it was about subtracting the best values from that and trying to incorporate it where it makes sense inside of this story.
How much is the technology, especially now, the advance in technology, something that helps you in the acting? Or is it still, you know, a lot of invisible effects, and then you see the final product and you get amazed?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think Simon was really focused on having as many practical effects as possible in the movie. And then, you know, obviously you have people shooting lightning bolts and lasers out of their eyes, and people especially running like Storm, you know, 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So you can't, you know, there are things, there are limitations. But what's super helpful is the advancements in previs and some of the compositing they're able to do in real time on the monitors, so you can get a sense of what the visual effects might look like in the final version of the film. So that really helps us factor it into the performance.
Plus, I mean, there are still moments when we're chasing a ball on a stick, you know, and they're like, and zoom, and we're all just like, I feel like puppies in a cardboard box, just, you know, there are those moments.
That's when it's exciting to see the actual film finished, and then you see what that tennis ball actually looks like, which is pretty rewarding usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look so real. I mean, you know, there's no way, if you don't know that they're visual effects, that you don't know that she kind of has those powers.
Exactly. And also our first AD, Josh McLaughlin, was so fantastic because you give him a mic and he's like, and now we're in space, and everyone's like, he's got all of the sound effects. You give Josh, or as we lovingly refer to him as Zulu, you give Zulu a mic, you're gonna get all of the sound effects. You're gonna get all of the and now it explodes, and everyone's like, oh my god, Josh.
3, 2, 1, bamf.
He's got so many catchphrases just based off of talking us through the special effects.
No, that's amazing. Amazing too, I think, are the fans and their dedication to the series and their love for it, etc. So they're obviously hard to avoid, but you don't want to avoid them, right? You just want to listen to what they have to say. What's the attitude towards the fans?
Fans? I mean, the fans are everything.
Yeah.
They make these films, and they make you want to work hard on them and do your research and do the best job that you can and make it the most entertaining and moving movie that you can.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all for the fans.
Yeah, all you can do is love them, you know, like you love a sibling, even if they steal your genes.
Or make you sign like a 50 million selfies.
50 million things, let's do it. You know what I mean? That's we wouldn't be doing this without them.
Have you guys been to Comic-Con? I'm sure you have, right?
Yes.
And is that like the craziest fan experience?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. It's cool. Sometimes you get to see like, you know, somebody is doing a really cool panel before yours, and you're like, oh yeah, you see it. First look at the new Deadpool movie or whatever.
Iron Man.
But yeah, it's always exciting to share it with people.